What is up, guys? This is Jersey Jaguar here, and today we're going to be talking about how the worst defense in the NFL last year, well, it wasn't statistically the worst defense in the NFL last year, but to me it was, and that was the Jaguars defense. And we're going to talk about how in the 2021 season it is going to be vastly improved. Let's get into it. Hit the intro. If I had an intro. I keep making that joke. Are you still laughing at it? Probably not. I should probably stop making that joke. Anyway, we'll start from the back. We'll move up to the front. So in the back, we have Andre Cisco, third-round pick out of Syracuse. And alongside him, we have Rayshawn Jenkins, who is the safety that we signed in free agency from the Los Angeles Chargers. Very much upgraded from this past season. Josh Jones, whatever. Andrew Wingard, get off my TV. Jared Wilson, please get off my TV. I mean, you can only go up. And the Jaguars are definitely going up. Andre Cisco has a lot of potential for this team. I really like him a lot. Actually, I know a lot of people really wanted Trayvon Merrick, and I was one of those people. But honestly, I think if his knee injury, if that holds up, I think he could be a much better value getting a player like him in the third than if we would have taken Merrick in the second. But that's just my opinion. Let me know what you guys think in the comments about that, by the way. Are you happy with Cisco, or do you still kind of wish the Jags would have drafted Trayvon Merrick? Let me know. I want to know your thoughts. So the Jags are much more set at safety than they were last year, which is a good thing. We move up into the secondary, where the corners are. C.J. Henderson. Now, C.J. Henderson's development, he played 8 games last year. 2 of them he played very well. One of them is the only reason we won a game last year. He made a lot of plays week 1, and ultimately he was the reason why we beat the Colts. His development, him being able to stay healthy, and him along with Caleb on Chason is massive for this franchise. You guys, I cannot express that enough, how those 2 guys panning out to at least, they don't have to be all pro. I mean, I would love them to be, but they don't have to be all pro Bowl players, but they have to be solid, productive week in and week out starters. If they got to a point where they were like, I was going to say Miles Jack, but I mean, yeah, if they both got to where they were both as good as Miles Jack is at his position, I mean, dramatic effect that would have on this team. That is the ultimate goal. We'll see with Urban Meyer's coaching. We'll see with the total change, the strength and conditioning, if that plays any effect on C.J. Henderson, because he struggled a lot with injuries last year, only played half the season. 2 of those games was very productive, and hopefully he takes that leap, because that is critical. I wouldn't say critical and crucial at the same time. Crucial for the Jaguars defense. Alongside of him on the other side would be Shaquille Griffin, the free agent corner that we signed from the Seattle Seahawks. That dude is beast. I have really no worries about him. He's probably the best free agent signing that we had outside of my man Marvin Jones. I would say on defense, he's probably definitely the best signing that we had. Very, very excited about Shaquille Griffin. I have no worries about him locking up the other side of the field. I think that was a fantastic addition. And then we drafted Tyson Campbell in the top of the second round in this past draft. A lot of potential with him. He's a big dude, big, fast, physical corner. I'm not going to make the comparison, so don't shoot me. But I've heard people say Jalen Ramsey. I shouldn't have said that. Never mind. Please don't unsubscribe. Shouldn't have said that. Tyson Campbell will be a wonderful player, his own player that is definitely not anything like Jalen Ramsey. Moving forward, great draft pick. Awesome. Lockdown secondary. Moving forward from that one, much better, by the way, in the corners. I'll just add that because anything is better than Chris Claybrooks and Luke Barco. I'll just throw that out there. Miles Jack. Miles Jack's a beast. I know that. You know that. Your grandma knows that. He wasn't down, and he still ain't down, and he's never going down. Miles Jack is one of the best linebackers in the NFL, period. And it's a shame that he was not given any recognition last year because he played for the worst team in football. And that's a crying shame because my guy should have been an all-pro last year. Had the best year of his career. Got paid, and instead of like most guys just kind of plateaued or crashed and burned like most dudes do, he had the best year of his career. Can't ask for anything more. Miles Jack's awesome. Joe Schobert is not so awesome. Not really awesome at all. But he's okay, I guess. I don't know. To me, he was very underwhelming. I expected, like, the second coming of Posluszny, and maybe the 3-4 change, and the defensive scheme will bring that. Was not very impressed or pleased with him at all this past season. Hopefully that changes. And then next to him is probably going to be, what's his name? Damian Wilson, linebacker from the Kansas City Chiefs that we signed in free agency. I would imagine probably him, maybe Leon Jacobs, or Quincy Williams will probably be that third linebacker, or maybe even they might even try to play Shaq Quarterman on the outside if they don't just strictly put him in the special teams role, because I believe Shaq Quarterman is more of like a middle linebacker, but I mean Joe Schobert's the middle linebacker. I don't think he's not going to take that away from him, especially not with all the money that they're paying Schobert. But the linebacking core hasn't really changed a whole lot, so. But it wasn't too bad, mostly because of Miles Jack. I mean, really, the biggest hope we have for the linebacking core is that the change in scheme will help Schobert. Outside of that, though, I honestly wouldn't expect a whole... Oh, you know what? Mid-sentence, I just remembered, popped into my brain. Someone who could play on that other outside position could be Dylan Moses, the undrafted free agent linebacker that we signed. I almost said drafted, but that wouldn't make much sense. The undrafted linebacker that we signed has a ton of potential to play maybe on that other side with the linebacking core, and he also has pass rush potential. So be on the lookout for that as well. I can't speak tonight. I don't know what it is. You guys have to forgive me. It's when I get talking about this stuff, I get all amped up and then I stutter like a moron. So yeah, guys, I mean, I wouldn't expect a whole lot different for the linebacking core as far as that goes. Like I said, unless the defensive scheme really kind of helps Joe Schobert along. And then when we get to what I like to call the big nasties, those are the guys up front, the guys at the line. The most important part of the whole defense is the pass rush. And Jacksonville is dead. I hate to say that, but it's dead. At least it was dead last year. It was dead and gone, and guys were writing books back there. I mean, they were writing books. It was sad. And as far as the running game went, Taven Bryan should never see a football field ever again. Not on the Jaguars, not on any football team in this country or in Canada or in the XFL or whatever. He's just a total waste of space. But this Jaguar defensive front got manhandled constantly. Nobody feared this team running the ball. Guys were getting chunks after chunks, play in, play out constantly. It was embarrassing. It was really, really embarrassing. However, Jags added a lot of big nasties in this offseason. Maybe not at quite as much of big nasties as I would like to, but I feel like they added enough to where we will definitely be more improved than we were last year. We signed from the Chicago Bears Roy Robertson Harris, who will probably play depending on... So in a 3-4 defense, from what I believe, what I understand is on first and second down, it's more of like the 3 and the 4. But if it's like a third down, like a third and long, there's going to be 4 more guys on the line of scrimmage. Because you got your 2 big ends, and then you got your nose tackle in the middle, mostly on first and second down. I believe that Roy Robertson Harris is a big end. I believe he is. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe he would play the big end in that situation. In the middle, I would put my man Devon Hamilton, who was, outside of Miles Jack, probably the best defensive player on this team last year. Showed a lot of flashes, a lot of potential before he got hurt. And luckily, the injury that he did sustain, it wasn't like, I'm not even sure if he like required surgery. Like, it wasn't like this, it wasn't an ACL tear. It wasn't anything like that. Like, it wasn't anything that required all this rehab. So he should be fresh right now, which is awesome because he showed a lot of potential. More potential than Taven Bryan has ever and will ever show in his career. So there's that. And then on the other side, I think the other big end will be DeJuan Smoot. I believe that's why they re-signed him, to bring him back to be that big end when the Jags are going 3-4. Now, when they switch to, well, I should have brought this up, but the linebackers are kind of, forget everything that I said about the linebackers because I totally forgot in that moment that the Jaguars were playing a 3-4. So when they play a 3-4, K'Lavon Chaisson and Josh Allen will be standing up as linebackers. Josh Allen did that in Kentucky. K'Lavon Chaisson did that at LSU. On fourth down, both their hands will be in the dirt as pass rushers. It is crucial that K'Lavon Chaisson develops as a pass rusher for this football team. It is crucial that Josh Allen returns to 2019 Josh Allen. Absolutely critical. Those are 2 first-round pick pass rushers that have to come through for this team to have any kind of success. Because if those 2 can't deliver on a consistent basis as pass rushers, everything else I just talked about for the last 12 and a half minutes, it means nothing. It does. It means nothing. Josh Allen especially, because he's already shown that he has that potential. But if those 2 guys can't consistently rush the passer, the whole thing doesn't mean anything. We'll see. But that's critical for that. And then I think when they are playing when they have 4 linemen down, I think you'll see Devon Hamilton. You might see Roy Robertson Harris kick on the inside next to him, and then Jay Tufele will kind of rotate a lot in between that. Taven Bryan's not making this team. I already said that in my 53-man prediction, and I really believe that. Taven Bryan, I think we've seen his last play as a Jaguar. I mean, I know Urban Meyer's been like, oh, yeah, we want Taven here, blah, blah, blah. Taven ain't going here. There's no way. He's done. And if he does somehow make the team, he's not going to play. He sucks. Whatever. But I think the Jaguars are much improved on the defensive front. I think just adding Jay Tufele, Roy Robertson Harris, and then again, the development of Devon Hamilton, Josh Allen, K'Lavon Chaisson, those guys is critical. So hopefully with these free agent pieces that we've added, and then, like I keep saying, the coaching, the development is critical. It really is. Like whenever Meyer talks about how there's talent here, it's just about getting the best out of those players, I kind of believe that. I really do, because I think like going from Doug Marrone to Urban Meyer is kind of like, I don't know, living in like a cardboard box to like a palatial mansion. I mean, like, it's just you can't really compare it to me. So that's my opinion, you guys. I think the Jaguars defense as a whole is improved. Will it be the 2017 defense? Probably not. Sorry, probably not. I don't really think any of you are expecting it to be. I think the defense will be better maybe than people expect. But if they finish like a random number, but they finish like 22nd overall in total defense, I'd be okay with that. I think that'd be pretty solid. Anything's better than what they were last year. If you guys have watched this video to this point, 15 minutes in, I kind of yapped a lot, but it was necessary. We're talking about important things here. If you watched the video to this point, thank you so much for that. I appreciate you. Hit the like button if you love your Jags. If you're not subscribed to this channel, I would ask that you would subscribe if you hate the Tennessee Titans, you love the Jacksonville Jaguars, and if you are super excited about this upcoming season, as I am, and hopefully I hope that you would join me in this journey called YouTube and talk some Jags with me. Have a good day.